kind of dark. I think my phone camera is a better camera than my laptop camera. So we're gonna see if I can't turn on a light or two here. That helped. Okay, all right. I think part of it is because the sun is going down. I have all this light in here. So we'll see if anybody shows up. I'm gonna try to go live also on TikTok. So since there's nobody in this one yet, I don't think, no participants yet. I'm learning how to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the TikTok one as well and probably get actually started in, let's see. Yeah, I could actually start it in like as soon as I go live on this one. All right. Add a title. Go Bellydance. No live goal. There's goals. Oh, I'm learning so much on TikTok. Okay. I don't know what any of these goals mean. Add a live goal automatically. Okay, let's just add a live goal automatically. I'll do that. Okay. Up the goal. Okay, and it's you don't need any filters or anything like that. This is not that kind of thing. All right. So here we go. All right. I think I'm live on the TikTok. 3, 2, 1. Yep, live on the TikTok and live on YouTube. And we're gonna see what happens. I have a week off from classes, so I figured I would do a little Bellydance quickie kind of thing. Because I'm using my devices to record, I will not have any music on either of these. So feel free, if you're playing along, to add your own music. Pretty much anything that you want to dance to will work. So let's see. We'll just get started because I've already got a couple people on the YouTube and I see a couple people on this one. So here we go. We're going to start with our feet kind of nicely planted. And we're just going to come up and down. And I'm going to recenter on this one. There we go. Up and down. One more time with the arms. And when we bring it down this time, we're going to roll the shoulders back and nice and open. And soften up the knees, lift the chest, tuck the tail, open the step up just a little bit. And we're going to start with some shoulder rolls, nice big shoulder rolls. I don't know if anybody's talking to me on either of these things. I'm way too far away to see. And I am definitely still learning. Apparently, I also need a moderator to tell me what the heck is going on out there. But, all right, nice big shoulder rolls. For those who have never taken a class with me, this is kind of how classes start, with nice big shoulder rolls, loosening everything up, snap, crackle, pop, rolling it forward. And we're going to bring the arms out. And we're just going to separate the upper body from lower body. And we're going to slide and slide, slide, slide. Just separating the rib cage from the lower body so that you can slide back and forth. I really can't see what anybody's saying, so I hope it's good stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is how I get kicked off TikTok and YouTube at the same time. I don't know. So I'm just sliding the arms back and forth, keeping my elbows kind of lifted, keeping everything nice and open, keeping the chest nice and open, and I'm sliding the rib cage back and forth. I'm going to bring the arms to rest on the hips, and I'm just going to step slightly over so you guys can see me a little better so I can do the hips. I'm going to tuck the tail, lift the chest up, and make sure that everything is nice and in alignment. Knees are nice and soft. Feet are about fist width apart, and I can't see my feet on some of this. So we're going to slide the hips out. Upper body is staying still. Slide those hips out as far as you can get them. And pull down. And then out on the other side. And pull down. So slide, 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 slide. Oh, somebody wants to join the live. Let's see what happens. All right, sure. Why not? There we go. Okay, you gonna dance with us? I have no idea who this is. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't turn into something terrifying. But I'm just sliding the hips back and forth, left to right. Or I guess if you're looking at me on the screen, it's right to left. Either way. Oh, I guess she decided not to join. That's fine. We'll see what happens. It's all good. All right. Softening the knees again. We're going to lift the chest up. And I know we're going to do upper body stuff, but knees still need to be bent. You still need to have nice soft knees. Yes, I'm in my own studio at home, and yes, it is echoing. So we're going to shift the upper part of the torso, and the shoulder is going to lead, but it's staying in alignment. We're going to push the shoulder forward and rock it back. Push the shoulder forward and rock it back. Push, 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 push. Back and forth. Twisting the upper body separate from the lower body. Lower body stays still. Lower body stays planted. Just back and forth. Rocking the shoulders back and forth. This is basically what we're going to be doing next session too in classes. So just because I've got a week off, I just decided to do this and see what happens. So we're rocking the shoulders. Go ahead and increase the speed. So you're just going to rock back and forth, back and forth. I see Solaris making a guest appearance in the background there. So rock it back and forth. And if you speed it up, that's how you get your shoulder shimmies. So if I turn slightly, you can see nice and lifted, shoulders going back and forth, but the movement's really coming more from the upper back and the ribs. And I'm just shifting my weight from one leg to the other, just to add a little more to it. So we're shifting back and forth, adding our shimmy, back and forth, back and forth. All right, nice big up and down. Releasing everything in the upper body. We're gonna do the same thing with the lower body. Hopefully you guys can see this. So you're gonna turn, shifting the hips forward and back. So I'm taking my right hip and I'm driving it as far forward as I can get it. And then I'm shifting it back. Upper body isn't moving. Upper body staying perfectly still. Lower body is twisting. Imagine if you had like seams on the side or like my little tassel that's right here. I'm trying to twist that tassel to the front and back and twist and twist. Chest stays lifted, knees stay soft. If you want to, you can open up your stance a little so you can get a little better idea of how that movement works. Shifting back and forth, twisting back and forth. I think I've got a couple people both on YouTube and on TikTok now, so we'll see what happens with this. I don't know. So we're twisting back and forth. Twisting, 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 twisting. So the more you twist, the smoother it'll get. And then as you smooth it out and speed it up, get a little better, a little faster, a little smoother. And this is what the Bellydance community likes to call Maytags, washing machines. They're a little back and forth shimmy. Upper body is staying still. Upper body is staying neutral. Hands are staying neutral. You can see my hand. Hands are staying neutral. We're staying like this. Knees are nice and soft. So we're shimmying back and forth. Practice that for a minute. Twisting, twisting, twisting. The other shimmy that you're going to see in a lot of classes and in a lot of choreographies is a vertical shimmy. So for that one, we're gonna soften down the knees a lot, almost squatting down into it. If you wanna start out, you can open your stance out a little bit to give yourself a little more room and stability. You're gonna tuck that tail, lift the chest, soften the knees, and drop that right hip down. And then drop the left hip down. Let gravity do the work. Down, 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 down. Let gravity happen. Now, if you want to get a more up movement with it, you can squeeze the glute. So you can see I'm going up, 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 up. So we're going to go up, 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 or down, 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 down. If you smooth it out in either direction, that's where you get your nice shimmy from, your traditional shimmy. And in the very beginning, and it's not coming from your knees. It's coming from your hips. So everything is coming from the hips. So you're shimmy, shimmy, shimmying from the hips. And you got this nice vertical movement going. It's not an out to out movement. It's an up and down movement. Up and down, keeping the chest nice and lifted, keeping the knees nice and soft. They're just along for the ride. And you can always add this on top of a slide. I was going to do some traveling moves, but there's just not a lot of camera space. So we're just going to kind of slide and slide, slide and shimmy, slide and shimmy. All right, another big up, elongate everything, and bring it down. Nice roll. We're going to try just on one side some moves. So I'm going to bring up my foot. I know you guys can't really see it really well. That's just where my camera's at. We're going to soften the knee on the supporting leg. Raise the heel on that other foot. So you're kind of just up on the ball of the foot. But your supporting leg is holding everything. So if I were to lift this foot up, I could still do all these moves with my foot free swinging. So everything's coming from the hips. So you're going to go ahead and let gravity happen again, and then lift up. Let gravity happen. I see somebody talking, but it's really far away, so I don't know what they're saying. But all the love, all the love. All right, so lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. So with this one, I'm lifting right here, squeezing, and then I'm letting it fall. Letting gravity do the work for me. So I'm not doing extra work by pushing down, I'm just letting it fall. Chest is staying lifted, shoulders are staying open. So we're gonna lift and drop, and lift and drop, and squeeze the glute and drop. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. That's fun, right? So little single hip lifts on one side. We're going to spice it up a little. We're going to lift up, twist it back, and drop it down. Then drip it up, twist it to the front, drop it down. So up, back, down. Up, forward, down. So you're making like little rainbows with your hip. So if you watch the knot that's on my hip belt, you can see back and forth. Back and forth. I see someone else asking to go live with me. I'm totally happy. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's just hit the invite. It's not working. I don't know. I'm new at this. All right, so back and forth, lifting, up and over, up and over. I really am trying to invite people as they're asking, but it's just not working. So back and forth. Back and forth. All right, let's switch to the other side. So same thing on this side. We're going to lift up on the ball of the foot. Lift the chest, tuck the tail, make sure everything's nice and in alignment. And you're gonna lift up and down, and up and down. Now, if you have your supporting leg locked, like I just did, when you do this, you're gonna bounce up here too. You don't wanna do that. So when you soften your leg, you can go up and down, up and down, and you're freely moving. And again, I can have this foot up and be doing this movement with my foot lifted. It's not touching the ground anymore. Just kind of drop in, drop in, drop in. So let's try that twist again. So we're gonna lift, twist forward, drop down. Lift, twist back, drop down. Lift, twist, drop. And again, we're making that little rainbow with our hips. We love the rainbows. This is the house of rainbows. I'm being weird now. Okay, it's fine. All right, back and forth. Lift and back, and lift and back, and lift and back, and lift and back. So you've got these nice little arches happening, nice little loops happening off the hip. Back and forth. Now, if we take that movement and we kind of go from one side of the hips to the other, so if I'm going to keep my arms nice and open, and I'm going to kind of come up, lift forward and down, then on this one I'm going to lift forward and down, and lift and down, and lift and down, and lift and down. So I am coming up on the ball of the feet, but the movement is still coming from the hips. And this is what they're talking about when they say bicycle hips. So we're doing like a little bicycle walk. So we're walking around, circling, circling. It's a nice way to travel. I know I don't have a lot of room on the camera to travel, so like I'm just doing little movements, fun stuff, round and round. So if you've never done belly dance before, I promise it's all in the hips. Everything is all in the hips. Let's try that backwards. You're gonna lift and pull back, lift and pull back, lift and pull back, lift and pull back. So now your hips are rolling backwards, alternating. So you could use this to walk backwards, or if you're really tricky, you can walk forward with it as your hips are going backwards. It's like the moonwalk of belly dance. Yeah. All right. Forward and back. And forward and back. Cool. All right, we're gonna give the hips a little bitty break because we've been doing a lot with the hips. Let's go back up to the shoulders. So we did our horizontal movement with the shoulders, this back and forth, forward and back, forward and back. We've done that. Now we're gonna add a lift to it, just like we did with the hips. So we're gonna lift up and forward and up and back. So up and forward, up and back, forward and back, and forward and back. So it's the same movement we were doing with the hips, only now we're doing it with the shoulders. And you can keep the hand down, or you can keep the hand out. I have no idea who's saying what on there, I'm sorry. I can't see it from here. But back and forth, back and forth. Lift and down, lift and back, lift and down, lift and back. So one of the things that tends to happen when people start out with this is they get their neck involved, and it's like like their neck kind of does it, but you want it all in the shoulder. Let's try, oh, here we go. Nope, I lost that one too. I don't know, guys. I'm doing the best I can. Hi, okay, I recognize Casey. Hi, Casey. All right, so shoulder up and down. We're just gonna start up and down, up and down, up and down. Now try to go up and back. Really open the shoulders up. Open up right across here. And then bring it forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. This is a great way to work out your arms, really. Like things we don't think about with belly dance or, working the arms. It's a lot of core work, it's a lot of leg work, but it's also a lot of shoulder and arm work. So we got a lot of that going on. Back and forth. And back and forth. So now, once again, just like we did with the hips, going back and forth, you can lift up the chest, keep that tail tucked under, even though we're doing upper body movements, we have to keep the tail tucked, and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna shift. We're gonna lift the right shoulder up, forward and down. At the same time, the left's gonna go back and down. And switch, and switch, and switch. And switch. So that gives you a little more of a Bollywood flavor with the bouncing shoulders. And you can kind of shift it back and forth. Back and forth. Shifting the shoulders back and forth. Shifting everything. And if you speed it up, you get a nice little bounce. Like I said, you can listen to whatever kind of music with this, but Bollywood style music is really cool. Little Dalia Mende going on, little tunak. We just did that in the last session in classes. So back and forth we go, back and forth and back and forth. And you'll notice that my hands aren't like doing this per se. So this is a good one to practice while like you're sitting in the car, or if you have a chair or a bar you can hold on to. My hands are moving very little movement with the hands. So back and forth, so my hands come out, back and forth. Ta-da! All right, so we've done a shoulder shimmy, which is nice and flat. We've added some bounce to that shoulder shimmy. We've done our twisting hip shimmies, or washing machines, or Maytags, however you want to call them. We've done our vertical hip shimmies. And we've kind of done a rolling bicycle hip, where we're rocking the hips back and forth in these circles and backwards. So that's a few of the more basic shimmying movements. Those are great. I want to show you guys some arm movements too, so we can kind of go into that. And for that, I'm going to kind of come off the screen from this one and get a little more centered on the other one so that you guys can really see my full arm moving. This movement originates in the shoulder. So we're just going to roll the shoulder like we've been doing. So it's a roll and a roll. And then you'll see like my elbow wants to go with it. So my elbow kind of goes with it. And then my wrist kind of wants to go with it. And then my fingers are just kind of along for the ride. So we're lifting, lifting, lifting. And I'm not going to let that arm come down too much. It's all originating in the shoulder. And then I let it kind of flow down the arm. And this is what gives you those nice undulating arms, snake arms, whatever you want to call them. And then on the other side, you can do the same thing. And again, like, oh, I can't see my arm. There we go. It's because I have one camera so close and the other one so far away. And I'm not technologically savvy enough to like swap between the two. So up and down, rolling, rolling, rolling. And then if you center, I know you guys are gonna lose like the tips of my arms, so it's not gonna look as cool on one video as it is on the other. The YouTube video is a lot bigger screen. So we're rolling, 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 rolling. So I'm getting it kind of big right now so you guys can see where that movement's originating from. But then if I slow it down and shrink it down, someone's going, yay, you're live. Yes, I'm learning. I'm learning all the technologies. Rolling, rolling, rolling. And you can do this one the other way. I don't really like it. I like to go backwards. And then you get this nice move. If you move your hands to the front, you get this nice kind of cascading movement. Give that a try. And if you bring it up and you do that same kind of rolling down, you get this kind of reaching, cloying kind of movement. And then, if you center your arms, keep your elbows soft, kind of keep your elbows next to your ears. That's what I kind of go with. It's like, that's too tall and that's too short. You want to be kind of right here. And then it's like I've got this big bowl in my hand, so I've got my fingers up here. I don't know if you can see them because my pirate flag's in the way. But, all right, so you're going to go pull with the wrist. So my wrist pulls out and then back in. And out and back in. So the movement's stopping at my elbow. And I'm letting my fingers kind of ride it out. And I can do that on this arm. Out and in, out and in. I realize it's silly for me to say left and right because I straight up do not know if I'm mirrored or not. So, and also one camera might be on mirrored and the other one might not be. I don't know. There's all these numbers on my screen and I wish I knew what they were. All right, here we go. Shift, 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 shift. So now I'm just alternating my wrists. So one wrist is going out and the other one is tucking in. So out, in, out, in. And then I'm just kind of tick-tocking that movement. Haha, that's funny. That's my bad pun for the day. That's not my only bad pun for the day. Tick-tocking my arms back and forth. Soft fingers. And then I can come down, because I'm sure anybody who's actually doing this with me, their arms are probably going, why is she keeping her arms way up there? It hurts. Okay, so back and forth. So it's like I'm pushing through water or Jell-O. I really like Jell-O. Jell-O's good. Pushing through it. And no, I do not have it on half speed. I really am trying to take my arms as slow as possible. And I can keep kind of sliding them down. So they kind of shift back and forth. Up. I don't know, I guess I'm coming up like, I don't know, half an inch or something with every shift back and forth. So it's just kind of a smooth sail. Up. And a smooth sail down. And when you add these moves to like some of the faster moves that we were doing, so if you were to do slow snake arms, and then a steady lower body shimmy, that's where you start to get the real beauty of the dance, the real magic of the dance. Because it's slow on top, busy on the bottom. And I like to tell my students, it's sort of like when you were a kid and you took like one hand and you put it on your belly, you took the other hand, you put it on your head, you try to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. And then you like switch them. You try to do the same thing. And I'm gonna tell you, I like absolutely sucked at that as a kid. But doing belly dance, I got that balance of the brain going where I can like detach and be like, okay, we're going this way. Okay, we're going this way. And I don't have any problem with it back and forth. So it's easier to do that. Belly dance works your brain, works your body, works your memory, works your muscles, and it's fun. And you don't realize you're actually doing work. It's like 100 degrees in my studio right now, I swear to God. So again, everything that I'm doing, I'm kind of in a closed space today, so I'm trying not to do too many traveling moves, but I kind of wanted to show you guys some neat stuff. So I kind of want to finish up with an undulation. Those who've been in my classes know that these are always a picnic. So we're going to start right here, kind of right where your upper rib cage is. So you're going to kind of pull in right there. And you feel this one more than you see it. So I'm squeezing in and then releasing. Squeezing in and releasing. Just on that upper part, those top muscles. So we're talking about a six-pack that I do not have, but that's okay. I love my belly. All right. So tuck it in and release. In and release. That's just the top one. We're going to keep adding to that, but we're going to go to the next one. So we're going to go in and in. And this is now you start to see it. So in. And tuck in and in. And you kind of see a little better if I go sideways. In and in. In and in. In and in. I'm hoping with all the workouts that I'm doing, I'm going to get my abs back, but whatever, if not. All right, now I'm going to move down one more, and it's kind of right behind my belly button. So I'm going to like, as I do this, I'm going to like squeeze, and my belly button kind of comes up from behind my hand. Up, 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 up. You can see my belly button do like peekaboo. All right, and then the bottom one is just kind of like tucking in really low. It's like the bottom of your muscle groups down here. And again, because we talk about six-pack, it's actually an eight-pack, but it's way down below the belt line. So it's kind of more felt again than it is seen. But if you work them all together, and again, this is the fast and furious version of undulations, not like how I teach in class. I teach about half the speed in class. So we're going to pull from the top and roll it down. Pull from the top and roll it down. You are rolling through those muscles. And you can tell, like, when I get to the top of the diaphragm, my voice gets a little weird. But I can still breathe and talk and do all of these things with this happening because it's not part of my diaphragm that I'm moving. It's all those core muscles that are on top. I'm going to move over here a little bit so these guys can see me a little better. So rolling, rolling, rolling. Getting that undulation to really happen. So I'm going to step a little closer for you guys. Rolling that undulation. And you can see it kind of in the sides too. So it's pulling in and pulling in. Oh, Wendy, did you share my live? Oh my gosh, thank you. All right. So rolling, 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 squeezing and pulling through. Those of you who have never done undulations or anything, you're probably going, I don't understand what is happening right now. It's okay. For those who have done it before, this is kind of practice. One of the things you can do is lift up and get up out of your rib cage so that when you're pulling in, you can get a little more room to squeeze. One of the other things is that a lot of people are always kind of tight and tucked. So if you let out the gut a little, have more room. Be not ashamed of the belly. Love the belly. Love your belly. Roll your belly. The more you roll it, the better it is. It's a happy belly. It's okay that it's a big belly. Roll a bit. I don't know what the roses are. That's kind of cool though, because I just finished my Gothic novel that has to do with roses. So like, it's kind of neat that the roses are popping out. I don't know what it has to do with anything though. All right, so I'm rolling and undulating. You can do undulations either way. So you can do them from the top down or the bottom up. And that's just kind of like throwing things back and forth. Adding undulations to other things is kind of the way to make this happen. So I'm going to turn just a little bit so you guys can see this better. I'm going to take my right foot, come slightly in front of my left. I'm going to soften my knees, and I'm going to shift my weight forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. With that, I'm going to push my chest, my upper body, as far forward as I can. So when I come forward, it's leading from the upper torso and the chest. And then I'm going to lift up and pull back. Push, pull. Push, pull. I'm kind of even squeezing my shoulder blades back. So pushing, lifting, pulling, and there's that undulation. Push and undulate down. Push and undulate down. Push and undulate down. And then at the very bottom, when I come back on my back leg, on my left leg, I'm going to tuck the tail in so that I get that like push down, that feeling like I'm locking into place. So we're going to push and lock down, and push and lock down, and push and lock down, and push and lock down. So we're rolling through it. And these are called camels or kind of traveling undulations, however you want to do it. And usually your arms are kind of in a position where one is up here and the other is kind of down here at the center. And so that you're kind of emphasizing where that movement is. And you can kind of go up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down if you want, or you can stay up, or you can stay more flat. Either way, all of that movement is coming from the front of the body. It's all core work. All core work. Another way to do this one, you can bring the arms way up, and then this move kind of changes names and traditions. It's more of a fat chant style move, and it's called the Arabic. And everything is very lifted with this one. Arms are up, legs are up, our feet are up. Hips are nice and loose, rolling with it. And then if I were to bring my arm down like this, it kind of signifies that I'm going to turn. And now you guys get to see that move from all angles. And bring it back up again. And down. Whew. All right, how about we stretch a little? We're going to open up the stance. Bring it up. Press the palms together. Bring them down. Press out and open. Bring the shoulders way back. One more time. Up. Shift the hips back. Nice flat back until your hands touch the floor. I know you can't see my hands. Until the hands touch the floor. And soften the knees and really stretch into it. I know you guys can't see very well what I'm doing. Kind of stretch it back and forth. And then I'm going to bring it back up. And walk the feet in best I can on my yoga mat. And bring it back down. All right, so I went pretty far on that one. I do kind of want to look and see if anybody had any questions and stuff. So, and see if I want to do this again. So I'm going to bring this back over here so I can see everybody a little better on both and see what everybody's doing and talking about. All right, now I get to see what is going on. All right, hi, I have like 3 people following. That's kind of cool. All right. So yeah, Wendy, thank you for coming and playing with me. And I hope this helps you because I know you keep wanting to come to classes, but your schedule is kind of crazy. So I'm glad you could kind of at least play with us here this time. I'm hoping to do more of these. And then I'm going to slide this over here so you guys aren't lost over there. Somebody's watching on this side too. I don't know who it is. Can I see who it is? I don't know. I don't know how to see that. But in any case, I'm really glad. This was kind of fun. Does anybody have any belly dance questions? Anything that you've kind of wondered about dance or wondered about just the style itself or why people get into it or the costumes or anything like that? I'm totally happy to answer questions. There's like all these numbers up here. That's my question. I don't understand what's going on with all these numbers. I'm like, I just wanted to do a live belly dance class and see what happened. So yeah, whew, it's really warm in here. I shouldn't have done this in the afternoon. I should have done it in the morning, but I was trying to include people. That's why I did it in the morning or in the afternoon. And I figure it's probably like midnight over in New York where some people are, because like who was watching earlier? Casey was watching earlier, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Whew. Okay, your current thought is my muscles don't do that. They learn to do it though, Wendy. Your muscles learn to do it, I promise. And I've been doing this for, I guess I can say I've officially been belly dancing for over 20 years, which hurts to say and is also really exciting to say because I feel like I can say I'm a professional now because I've been doing this for more than a decade, more than 2 decades. And I started out as a little bitty belly dancer in my early 20s and then started teaching and doing all this stuff and enjoying everybody and all the students and performing. Maybe I'll do a live thing at one of our performances too. I don't know. We'll see. It'd be really fun to do that. But I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I think I'm really tech savvy until I actually have to like do both things at the same time, where I have to like teach the class, move the body, remember what the heck I'm doing, and then do this all without music today because like I don't have the groove right now to do with the music because all of my devices are occupado with video referencing stuff. And somebody is also messaging me on other things. So I don't know who that is. All right. I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay. I do know a tech person nearby, and that tech person should come by and play with me. Definitely am the only tech person in this particular house, so that's always exciting. See? Come by. I figure I'll do this again, like, I don't know, mostly when I have weeks off, because it's weird for me to have this day off because usually I'm teaching at this time. Well, okay, usually I'm heading to class at this time. So part of the reason probably I can get a lot of my students is because they're not used to being out this early. They're used to being in class at like 6:30. So they'll all be like, why didn't you do it at 6:30? I'm like, because it's hot in here. And also like humans start coming back to my house at like 6:30. So I can't be doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, and now my next thing is to figure out how I can clip some of the videos that I got from this and from YouTube into videos to share and see if I can do some more stuff on my Patreon. I'm doing this one kind of, oh, yeah, that'd be cool if you did live vocal practices. Wendy, I would love that. I would totally go see that. And also like, see, you say that your muscles can't do that with belly dance. My muscles can't do that with the musics. You really don't want me to like sing. That would be terrifying for everyone involved. I think I have like I don't know. I have things that don't work in my vocal cords. I was kicked out of chorus. That's why I dance and why I hit things. So I'm thinking of doing this again tomorrow. For my sword classes. So same time, like 5:30 in the afternoon, 5:30 in the evening. And doing some sword stuff to see if I can make that happen. So yeah, you want to play with swords too? See, it's fun. I'll be swinging swords. I think I'm going to use the not real swords for it though, not because I think I'm going to hurt myself, but because you can kind of see the movements better with the bats rather than the really skinny sword blades that are kind of hard to see, especially in this light. I mean, if you guys are having a hard time seeing my fingers and my arms, seeing that would be, yeah. Oh, do they have issues with real swords? I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's wild. I mean, I guess. But they're not real swords? I mean, I guess I could hurt somebody with them. I don't know. But yeah, okay, I'll use the bats then. That confirms it. I will use the bat. And try not to look too stupid swinging a foam bat around. Of course, I do that in my classes, so, but then everybody else has it too, so they understand. It's a weighted sword. It's not just a piece of plastic, I swear. They weigh about like 2 pounds. Oh, I started doing my Spartacus workout again too, and I increased my weights this morning. And yeah, you wouldn't think 5.5 pounds is a lot, but 5.5 pounds is a lot after like 45 minutes. That's super unpleasant. But hopefully I'll be like a badass before the labyrinth ball. All right, I'm totally going off the rails. Oh, what is Spartacus workout? There is a YouTube video that has the timer for it. I use a slightly different set of exercises, but essentially it's 10 exercises, and those 10 exercises you do intermittently at 60 seconds a piece with a 15-second interval between, like a rest period in between, which is basically just enough time to reset your body and go to the next move. Hello, good evening, Smash Tower books. Not books, Smash Tower radio. You guys are radio guys. But yeah, so the Spartacus workout, you do 60 seconds on, then a 15-second break in between, and you do 10 exercises in a row. And then you take like a 2-minute break and you do it again, and you do that 3 times. So when you do that 3 times with 5-pound weights, it gets exciting. Your body is like, why is this happening to me? But hopefully, I'm reaching that middle of over the hill age, so it's nice to kind of get back into my original shape with stuff, or at least build a little more muscle. I've started to notice that my muscle's kind of not as great as it used to be. So yeah, such as it goes. But yeah, Wendy, you should give it a try. I'll send you the link. You can always start out with 0 weights. The thing I like about the Spartacus style workout is that you can choose your 10 exercises. You can start at any weight interval, or at any weight you want, and you can do it at whatever speed you want. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to do that first exercise where I'm just like lifting my arms up, but I'm only going to do that really slow. So I'm going to like count a beat in between each one. So you can slowly progress, and as you build, you'll notice like, oh, now this is easy. So take a step up with the weight or your intervals. So it's nice. Also, you can do like, I only do 1 set. I'll do like the 10 workouts. And so it's like a 10-minute workout essentially. So you do 10 minutes and then you're done. And then next time you can be like, okay, I'm going to do 2 rounds. And then the next time you're like, okay, I think I can make it through 3. So that's what I like about it too, because I feel like it's enabling to anybody at any level. And I do the same thing in my dance classes and in my sword classes. I try to show people, okay, this is how we start. This is level 2. And this is level 3. And now we're like, let's like add it all together so that you end up actually like dancing and moving and grooving. So yeah, there's a lot of different things. See, it's good. It seems brutal if you do it at the top end, but yeah, at the very beginning, you're like, I can do this. I can do it as simple as I want to do it. And I have 2 different styles of workout I do, because again, I've got bursitis in my toes, which by the way came from belly dance and dancing barefoot all the time and having no foot support. So I have bursitis in both my big toes. And so any of the moves that are like you're balancing on your toes, so like planks or push-ups or anything like that, I can't do as well. So I tend to switch those out for things that I'm not on my toes as much. Because it's not that I can't do it, it's that I can't like keep up with it with my toes like screaming at me. All right, I feel like I've annoyed the universe enough, and I'm super appreciative of everybody who did show up and everybody who did dance, and you guys did a really good job. I'm super proud of everybody. I know I didn't get to see you do it, but I'm hoping you did it in spirit at least. And thank you for dealing with my nonsense of my first live attempt. And yeah, we'll try this again when I have like nights off and things like that, or maybe I'll just record some. We'll see. All right. Love you guys. Mwah! Bye. I don't know how to turn this off. We're going to just stop. End the live. Okay. And I'm going to do that with you guys too. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much, everybody who came and played with us today.